Hey guys, it's Kim from Tall Mouse Creative Arts, and I made a little Christmas mini book. So let's take a look. The video's a little bit long, so I did speed up some parts because, do you really want to see me glue? But anyways, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so before we get into the project, let's take a look at all the dies that are going into the project. So this is going to be a Christmas mini album, and I'm going to be using all of our pages that we've created. They are size 5 by 6.5. So we have a scallop end, large scallop. We have an elegant point, and we are going to use some of the layering pieces on this too. Notched corners right there. We've got our elongated curve. We've got the simple rectangle, and then we've got the elegant curve also. And then what's fun stuff that's going on the inside of the book. Of course, we're going to use our flaps, but we're only going to use the small one, the 3 by 3 right now, and one of the layering pieces. And then I'm going to be using the hinge piece, the long one, because I'm going to secure our pages and give it a little extra reinforcement, which you'll see in just a minute. And then some of the other fun things, we have a 2-slit and a 5-slit pocket. So both of these guys got cut out, so they're going to go inside of the book. And then I've got the pocket, the curved L pocket with its layering piece. And then on our small envelopes, I'm just going to use this one in our book. So let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at the very first page, which is going to be the outside cover. Everything's already been cut out, and I'm not going to ink anything for this particular book, but I do want to show you some of the details before I get going on my gluing. So this is called the hinge piece, which I showed you, which is right here, 2 sizes, because you can use the small one for the flaps and make a mini book, but the large one fits exactly for our pages, which is 5 by 6.5. This piece is just a simple fold over piece, which helps reinforce the your page right here. So it can go into another scrapbook. We didn't put holes in it, so you can punch them where you want to or make your book how you want. And then the pages have a couple of layering pieces. We also have a 1/2 inch where is exactly where the hinge is going to go after it gets cut out. So your full page is 5 by 6.5 plus your little 1/2 inch piece right here. So that particular piece, the rectangle, I use the outside and I use one of the small pieces, and you can see you have a light score line right here. So this is going to get glue on the inside of it, whatever type of adhesive, either liquid, or if you want to do a tape runner, it's up to you, or tear tape. So this is just going to get reinforced right into here, and then obviously you can cut it out and have some fun with your hinge too. This can stay as is, or it can go into your binder. You can go into another scrapbook, or what we're going to do for this book is build it up. We're going to punch 3 holes in it, and then put some fun ribbon on it. And then you've got plenty of space for your decor also. So I'm going to get going on some of this gluing, and all different pages have been cut out already. So you can see that's our 2-slit. So this guy, we're just going to get started. we've glued everything, but let's take a quick look. And I'm not sure if I want to do 2 holes or 3, probably 2 with some fun ribbon. So here we go. Let's take a look at our Christmas mini book. And of course, we've got spots to be putting pictures and stickers and all other kinds of goodies. Now, I glued on the outside right here. If you want to stop that pocket, put a adhesive line right here so it won't go any further. But things can pop all the way down into either one. So fun little treats in there. We've got our fun page, maybe a baking picture with a little title right here. And then maybe another picture, or just call it snow day and then pop pictures either on top or on the inside. So we've got our small flaps right here, and then maybe a little fun message. Flipping that over, and then maybe we put another sticker or something fun right there, a picture. I did use our layout dies with the scallop edge. Here is our little pocket. We've got our envelope for some other fun little secrets in there. And then we've got our big long 5-slit pocket, so we can do something with that. And then we've got a spot for a 4x6 photo. And then it's the most wonderful time of year. So let's hole punch this and see the finished result. We are almost done with our book. I took a few moments and did my hole punching, and the very first one I messed up. I made myself a template and it wasn't even, and I had my paper turned the other way. So don't do that if you guys are doing it. Just double check where you're going to put your holes, where you can see mine. And then the way I attach, I use twine as my first connector piece, and then make sure before you double knot it that you leave a little bit of room, because obviously your book needs to open. And then the decorative ribbons are for just that, for the fun and the decor. So I left everything intact so you could see how I do this. If you have another way of doing it, great, I'd like to hear about that. But this is how I've attached my books. I do twine first, and then it's kind of low profile, keeping it in there. And then I will snip the twine off right there, so that's just the fun decorative ribbons. And then I take a pair of flat nose tweezers, duckbill, or I do pointed ones, and stick the ribbon through the hole so it comes out the other side. But however you guys work that. And I'm just going to tie the fancy ribbon up a little bit. And then again, leave yourself just a little bit of room so that it can, your book pages can turn. And then of course you want to make the edges of your ribbon on an angle to make it cute, and also so they do not fray, because that's not very fun. And then that is one. And then I don't tie them over one another. I tie them separately so they have their own little knot. And then because sometimes if you tie them over one another, they do come undone. So that is going to be this guy and that guy. Let's recut that. Okay. And then of course my books go typically to the show, so this is going to probably get beat up a little bit. So that's why I'm taking videos and pictures while it's still pretty. So let's go through, because I added my ribbon, and then I added just a little bit of decor, and you can see pages turning. Now what I showed in the video is not gluing all the way, depending upon where you want your pocket to end. Something in here can go all the way through. So you can add all sorts of goodies here. You can add your pictures. I added some stickers. And then you see our binding just gives us a little bit more fun. We've got flaps, jingle all the way. Let's put pictures right here, right here, right here, right here. A little surprise at the end. And now that page is a little bit thicker too as we turn it. Just got a sticker, a little bit of stickers right there. Let's turn this guy, and then we have some little fun pockets. We've got a little goodie in there, little treat, little surprise. Turn it over here, and then we've got 1, 2. Now I didn't glue any of these, so you could have something really long and fun, and put a little piece right there so it sticks up out of your book. Also, one going to one side, whoops, and the other going to the other side, so it's kind of offset. You can put your picture right here of your family, and then a few little more rhinestones, and there you go. Christmas book, mini book is done. Enjoy.